students, how are you all? Hope you all are fine and doing well. You are reading well. So today, students, I am here to make a video on a very important topics from each chapters that have the 100% tendency to come in this year. Okay, as a question to you. So that's why this video is going to be very important and very special video to all of you. So without wasting time, let's get started. And before that, I want to request to you that if you have not subscribed this channel till now, you must have to subscribe it. Please do subscribe as well as share with your friends because sharing is a good thing. Okay, so let's get started without wasting time. So here total 15 chapters are there and 15 chapters we will complete here in this video. Okay, so that's why you can understand that how useful and how special this video is going to be, right? So let's get started from chapter number one. Chapter number one from chemistry, it is given matter in our surroundings. So in this chapter we are going to read about the state of matter, definition of matter, the definition of particles, the characteristics of particles, states of matter, evaporation. So all such conditions are here, but among them which are important to us? Yes, so if we say about the matter, the definition of matter and the characteristics of matter, these two parts you can memorize by yourself, but it doesn't come regularly in every year, but sometimes it comes, or in frequent years it has already come. So you may memorize it, there is no problem. Next, if I say about the particles and the definition of particles and the characteristics of the particles, yes, it is very important. Definition of particles and characteristics of the particles. So you must have to memorize this because for this year it is going to be very important to all of you. Okay, it may come in your exam paper in this year. So that's it. Now come at the states of the matter. Okay, states of the matter, solid, liquid, gas. So such conditions you must have to read mainly if it comes in your exam. So it may come as the property or the features of a solid matter or liquid matter or gaseous matter, as well as it can come, or most probably it's come as a distinguisher difference. Yes, make write the differences among the solid state, liquid state, or gaseous states. Okay, so in such manner portion comes. So you must have to memorize all kinds of state of matters properties so that you can write down whatever it comes in your exam paper. Okay, that's it. Then evaporation, you know that evaporation means just the conversion of the liquid into gaseous states. That is the evaporation. Now you have read it here in it the kinetic energy. Okay, and there you have read about the units, different units there, as well as the different measurements. Is the suppose for Kelvin it is given as 273 Kelvin. Okay, for 0 degree centigrade. So in this way, all such type of things, these small things you must have to keep it in your mind, because for the science, basically for science, the units, all kinds of units, right? Like kilogram, what it, the kilogram meter per second square. Okay, just like the liter meter means where it is using Kelvin. Okay, where it is using must be kept in your mind, as well as the CGS unit also. CGS unit as well as the SI unit, standard unit. So both units you must have to memorize, as well as all the names. Okay, all the names, these are also very important. You must have to keep it in your mind, as well as the measurement, or you can say the suppose 0 degree centigrade equal to 273.15 Kelvin. So such type of indications you must have to memorize. Okay, so these are the particular thing, as well as the different identities, those which are given. Okay, so all such matters also you have to memorize by writing itself. If you don't memorize by only by reading, you must have to write frequently. Okay, so that you can memorize it well. That's it. So from this chapter only these things are present, as I think those which are depicted here you must have to read, and the topic that I told you must have to memorize. That's it. Fine. Next, that sedimentation process that is given. Sedimentation is a very new and very unique type of process. Okay, from solid to gaseous states, with the help of the temperature. So you must have to keep it in your mind. And what few examples like the naphthalene, like camphor. Okay, so all such things based on sedimentation you must have to keep it in your mind, because you know about the condensation, then fusion, then evaporation. Okay, then boiling point, melting point, freezing point. Okay, so such definitions may come for 1 mark. So you must have to memorize this. So there are different things are there in the whole topic, those which you must have to memorize. Got it? Because science is a type of paper or a book, that where not only one topic particularly is given. It means that from with one topic, the another topics are also amalgamated. Got it? So see, such type of mixing of the topic. So that's why you have to read from everywhere. Okay, throughout this chapter, everywhere you have to read the the small questions answer, medium questions answer, the large question answers, along with the diagrams. Okay, so all these matters you have to memorize from there. And from here, diagram means you can say you can practice the sedimentation diagram. Okay, sedimentation diagram from here, it is quite important. Then the compression system that is given here, you can practice it. It may come. But then conversion of the ice to water and water to liquid, these diagrams are not so much important, but you can memorize this, as well as the in-text questions answer. In-text question answer, you must have to complete it. Okay, in my video I have already given the different solutions of these in-text questions. Okay, you have to complete it in your copy, and if possible, please send me through my email id. Email id is already given there. You must send me the answer. That's And there two other states are given, like plasma and BEC, that is Bose-Einstein condensation or Bose-Einstein condensate. So memorize the entire theory of it. Okay, and if possible from the Google you can search it out about to know more about the plasma and BEC. Got it? And if possible, you may practice the diagrams also. It will never come, but I'm telling you for only because of your benefit. Okay, that's it. So in this way, we have completed this first chapter. Let's go for the second chapter. Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is matter around us pure. Is matter around us pure? As we know that there are different matters are scattered everywhere around us. So all these matters, some such matters are there. Those which have the same type of particles of the matters are present, and some matters are also present where different combination. It means that different combinations of the matters are present. So it means that the homogeneous and heterogeneous matters are available everywhere. It is scattered everywhere, but we have to find out that is the matter that we are using is the kind of pure matter or not, or a mixing matter. Okay, so to find it out, we must have to go for different experiments, those which are given in this chapter 2. And it means that from chapter 2 you will understand about the mixing. Okay, what is mixing or amalgamation of the different particles of the matters to make one such particles, as well as the type of mixing. Okay, how to mixture. Got it? How to mixture means, here you will observe that here, based on mass of the different substances, based on volume of the substances, these are mixing somewhere. So such processes you must have to read, because such of questions may come in exam this year. As well as we can see about the solution. Okay, solution also very important. What is solution? You know that solute and solvent is used here to make the solution. So solution is going to be very important, as well as the types of solution. We have already read that the saturated solution and the unsaturated solution. So saturated solution, unsaturated solution, such a questions distinguish or the difference may come. So you must have to practice the differentiations between the saturated and unsaturated solutions. Okay, it means, now from here, the another thing is there, that is called the alloy. Alloy I have already read in class 7 or 8. We have already read. Got it? When we read about the coal, petroleum, or such type of chapters, so there we read the alloy is just a kind of amalgamation of the particles of the solid matters by melting itself. Okay, so such alloy can come in as a short question, like one number questions. Next, we can say that what type of properties can be seen in solution. So property of solution, it is going to be very important. So memorize this. Then various process or various ways of expressing the concentration of solution. Okay, how to reduce the concentration of the solution, how to take the moderate condition of the concentration solution, how to increase the density, okay, of the solution. So all such matters are given there by the three steps, that is a mass, volume, and volume. So all these matters you have to practice it from the book. Okay, It is going to be very very important. Next, it is saying about the suspension. So suspension means removing or removing the settled down of the residue, okay, under the solution. When you are mixing the solution, after that, after mixing it, some solid particles, those which are not mixed together properly with the solution, it makes a residue under the solution. Okay, so if such type of suspension means such type of colloidal part can be seen, as well as a few small particles are there, those which not make the residue under the solution, as well as it used to move along with the movement of the solution inside a medium. Okay, so such suspension is going to be very very important as a short note, as well as the colloidal solution where Tyndall effect is very very important. So Tyndall effect can also come, that what is Tyndall effect, or explain on Tyndall effect. Okay, so such questions can come in exam this year. It is going to be very very important to you, so must read this topic. Then from our nature, okay, where we used to see the colloidal conditions, okay, or the suspension conditions in the during the winter season, okay, in the early morning. So such conditions may come as a hot question or value based questions. So you must have to read this topic. It means that you can say the entire topic you have to read, and from there few basic parts are there, those which are very very important, and from there questions must come in your exam paper. That's it. So in this way we have completed such part of it. It is a quite large chapter, so you have to read very seriously, as well as the common examples of colloid. Many common examples are there everywhere around us, so you have to read from this box. A box is given in page number 18 in your Ncert book. So of course open the Ncert book, page number 18. A table is given there. Okay, next, separation of the components of a mixture. Now when mixture is already completed, now we have to separate it out. Got it? In different process, we know that the condensation process, the evaporation process, okay, then fusion process, sublimation process, okay. So all such matters are already, I think that is included there for separating out all the solute from the solvent. That's it. It is given how can we obtain colored components, or the dye from blue or black ink. So blue or black ink that is present, that is available in the market, got it, that we use for taking the ink and for writing purpose. So how to take out the how to take out the actual dye from the water, got it. So we can easily do it. Experiment is given there, so you must have to read it. Such dye process, or absorption of the water from the dye, such experiment comes most probably in the exam. So I will say that yes, this for this year also, this experiment is going to be very very important. Okay, next, how can we separate cream from milk? It means the centrifugation process. Yes, such centrifugation process is going to be very very important, because frequently it comes. Okay, I will not say that every it comes, but frequently it comes, centrifugation, or what is centrifugal process. Okay, so you can read in that manner. Okay, so that's it. Next, its application, where it is applied, so you must have to read it. How can you separate mixture from two immiscible liquids? Two immiscible liquids means those which have problem to mixing along with, only based on their density, high density and low density. So that's why, from how to take out the one immiscible liquids from the another immiscible liquids. So it is very important and very very easy. So you can read it for once or twice, it will not come, I think so, but the question can come like, find out the differences between the miscible liquids and immiscible liquids. Or question may come that how many types of liquids are present. So you can say that there are two types of liquids, basically according to their state or according to their density. That is the number one, miscible liquids, and number two, immiscible liquids. Okay, and after that it can be said that how to take out one immiscible liquid from the another immiscible liquid, justify it. Okay, so in such manner question may come this year, so you must have to read this topic, as well as how can you separate a mixture from salt and camphor. Salt and camphor, how to take out. So it is already about the heating process, means if we generate the heat on that matter, so easily what will be evaporated from there. Okay, so solid part will be uh, left on the container. So that's it. So in such manner it will also not so much important. Next is the dye in black ink, single color. So the dye that is used, suppose the black dye or the blue dye, okay, the dye that is already mixed with the water, is there only one dye, means one type of color is present. So this experiment is also going to be very very important. What it does, it means that are quite important. Got it? So you have to read this topic, then its applications, then how can we separate a mixture of two miscible liquids, how can we separate the mixture of two miscible, suppose of milk and water, how can you separate it out? Okay, and so in such manners you have to read this and you have to try to understand the experiment. And so all the experiments you have to read, but dye-based experiments, centrifugal experiment, then this miscible liquids experiment, differentiation between miscible and immiscible liquids, their experiments, you must have to read it. That's it. Next, how can you obtain different gases from air? How can you obtain different gases? Okay, it means how to sort out the different gases from the air. So this question can come only based on the expansion process or the details it may ask. Okay, but most probably it doesn't come in exam. And there is a diagram. Diagram is very tough, but a flow chart you can draw. Flow chart will be given later. So flow chart in school also it will be provided, that how to separate out all the components of the air from the atmosphere. But the entire experiment no need to draw, no need to practice, because it is quite tough and it will take many times. Okay, so that's why the experiment will not come. Next, how can we obtain pure copper sulfate from impure sample? Okay, so such process is also important. Read this. Then physical and chemical change. It is there, physical and chemical change. Okay, so in a matter of whatever physical change, whatever chemical changes, mainly the distinguish or the differences, it will come from here. So you have to read this part, as well as what are the types of pure substances, means in pure substances what types are present. Okay, based on any two types, sometimes short notes comes. Okay, like elements, like write a short note on elements, or write a short note on compounds. So such in such manner it comes. Then the mixture and compounds. Okay, distinguish between them. You must have to memorize this, as well as the interflow chart of the matter. The interflow chart of the matter. You have to memorize it. That's it. So in such manner, we have already completed this chapter. So you can see that this chapter is quite broad, okay, in sense, as well as many important topics are given. So you have to give a little time, at least 1 to 1.5 hour uh, per day on science, basically. Okay, 1 hour to 1.5 hour. Then you can easily grab all the important topic from each chapter of this science book. That's it. So let's go for chapter number 3. Chapter 3, Atoms and Molecules. This chapter is going to be very important to you this year, because many questions will come from this chapter in your exam paper. So let's get started. In chapter 3, first of all, we will observe the first law, the law of conservation of mass. It means mass neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. Okay, so such law is very important. And after that, the law of conservation of mass, and then the law of constant proportion, that is depicted by Sir Proust. So it is very important. You must have to memorize all the laws. These two laws, look at the first page of this chapter, two laws are there. So two laws are going to be very important. Any one law must come in your exam paper this year. Okay, as well as the atomic Dalton's theory. Okay, Dalton's atomic theory. Sir John Dalton wrote some of the conditions according to his observation based on the atoms. So this atomic theory is going to be very important, because first time you are going to read the theory based on atoms. So that's why you must have to memorize each and every points, those which are written here in your book. Okay, and it must come. You just write it down that it must come in your exam this year. That's it. After that, what is atom? Now come directly about the atom. So here you have to read the definition of the atom, the properties of atom, and how do atoms react with the another atoms or the molecules of a substances. All this matter. Then what are the modern day symbols of atoms? Different element. Okay, sometimes it is not very important, but I will tell you that you have to practice at least. Okay, how to denote. how to denote the atoms nowadays in modern science. Okay, as we know that there are different huge components are there, huge number of components are there. So it is quite important to memorize all such matters components and their atomic structure. So that's why few of the unique type of diagrams are written are given here, so that we can easily understand. Okay, so it is not going to be very important, but you can practice it at home. That's it. Next, the relative size of the atoms, different atoms, and what is the relative size. This table is very important. You must practice it. Okay. Then atomic mass is given. What is the atomic mass? Okay, an atom, the mass of an atom, that is the atomic mass. You have to read this topic. This topic is not so much important, but the table is important. Okay, what is the table? Symbols of some elements, symbol of some elements. Or you can also get the question for number one, that define the atomic mass. Got it? In such manner. After that, the few substitute question along with this, that is, what is the atomic mass of hydrogen, what is the atomic mass of oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide. So in such manner question may come. That's it. Then the symbol of different elements. A table is given in page number 34 in your NCERT book. So from there easily you have to read all the symbols. You have to memorize all the symbols of the elements. That's fine. So this is completed. After that, let's come, how do atoms exist. Okay, atomic mass is also given. Look in table 3.2, page number 35, it is already given. Atomic masses of few elements are given here according to the atomic mass. Okay, so you must memorize all this. Then how do atoms exist, means how do atoms exist in a surrounding or in any matter, in any substance. You have to read this. Then what is, how do atoms exist. So here it is said that the what how do atoms in it is say exist around us. Okay, and after that you have to read the atomic mass, that I already told that, because it is going to be very important this year. Then what is a molecule? What is a molecule means, we know that when two or more than two atoms amalgamated together, or it is absorbed together, after that it makes the molecule. So what is the molecule, and after that what is the difference between atom and molecule? You must have to read it, you must have to memorize it. It is going to be very 100%, I can say that it will come this year, the distinguish between the atoms and molecules. Okay, so you must memorize this. Then the compound, the combination of the structure, you have to read it. And what is the ratio of the mass of each and every part? Suppose carbon dioxide means CO2. So what is the ratio of carbon and oxygen in that CO2? You have to memorize this. That's it. Next, we have to read the metals as well as the non-metals also. How many non-metals are present everywhere, and what is their atomicity? Means they are monoatomic, means they have on one atom or two atoms or three atoms. So monoatomic, diatomic, triatomic, okay, polyatomic. So all such matters you have to read from here. Got it? Next, molecules of the compounds. Got it? So in a compound, how many types, how many molecules are present there? So here is a table already given. What is its element, then ratio by its mass ratio, then atomic mass, then atomic ratio to atomic mass, its combination, its calculations, then simplest ratio. So in such manner table is given. So this table you have to memorize. You have to understand how to take out the simplest ratio, how to take out the atomic ratio by atomic mass. So all such matter you have to understand. Next, what is ion, the cation, the anion, you have to understand that. You already have read. And in a compound, how to take the cation and anion. Okay, how to separate out. If I say that H2SO4, okay, or HCl, in HCl, H plus Cl minus, whereas H is a cation, means hydrogen always remains as cation, whereas chlorine remains as anion. Okay, we know that when two different ions comes together, it used to amalgamate together by mixing itself. It means H plus hydrogen ion, positive ion, and Cl and chlorine, negative ion, when it comes at a time. So they amalgamate it together and makes the neutral HCl solution. Okay, so in such manner, there are many compounds are present, like H2SO4. So we can say that H2 plus SO4 2 minus, right? So H2 plus or SO4 2 minus, when they mix together, it makes a neutral H2SO4. So how to do it? These type of things will be calculated later and will be understand later, as well as in the school also it will be provided how to do all such things. Okay, and if possible I will also give the details on this matter when I will give the proper explanation on this topic. That's it. Next, go for the next topic. What is that? Writing chemical formula. How to write the chemical formula. So the entire details given here, as well as the box is also given here in page number 37. Please look at 37 page number from your NCERT book. It is given names and symbols of some ions. So here different elements names are given, as well as their ions are given. Those which are positive ion and negative ion. Okay, according to their number of the elements. That's it. So after that it is given formula of simple compounds. Okay, how to make the formula of a simple compounds. So it means the valency process is already given here. So valency you will understand from here. So it is going to be very important because valency or valency based question comes most probably every year. Okay, so that's why it is going to be very important. Next, molecular mass, mole concept. Mole concept is not only 100%, it is 200% important. Mole concept. What is mole? Okay, question comes, or give the explanation on mole concept. Such type of question comes often every year. Got it? Next, molecular mass. What is the what's called the molecular mass, and the definition of the molecular mass and the structure of it you have to read from here, as well as the calculation how to take out the molecular mass of a substance. That is also you have to understand. So here few of the objectives are given. You have to read it and you have to try it out. Okay. Next, formula mass unit, molecular mass and formula mass unit. These are going to be very important. So you have to practice it only based on calculations. That's it. Mole concept is given. I told already that mole concept is very important. The entire it's the structure of the mole concept you have to practice by writing and writing, because it is going to be 200% important this year. Okay, that's it. So in this way, we have completed up to this part, and after that, many numerals are there. And I already have told that for the science, you must have to practice the units, you must have to practice the identities, you must have to practice the SI and CG's units and their measurements. What is given, what indications are already given, and based on that matter, you have to go for the calculations based on the numerals, those which will be provided to you in the question paper. That's it. Next, so it is already completed. Next, go for the next topic. Okay, so here already completed because based on the numerals the entire part is already completed. So here what you have to memorize, the mole concept must you have to memorize 200%. Then the two laws, those which are given at the first of this chapter, you must have to memorize these. All the kinds of numerals you have to practice it at home, because these are going to be very important. Okay, then molecular mass and atomic mass, such type of questions may come as in 1 mark or 2 marks question. These are distinguished, those which are present there. Valency is going to be very important. And the ions, how to take out the ions. Okay, such type of questions may come in exam, or it means that you have to practice it. So these are the important part from this chapter 3. Okay, let's go for chapter 4. Let's start chapter 4. Chapter 4 is structure of the atom. The structure of the atom. Here, basically, we are going to read the practical structure of the atom. Unicellular, a unicellular part, we can say. Okay, like atom, the big part. So, the atom, how it is present or how it is exist around us in cation or anion. Okay, we are going to read from here, as well as the charged particles of in the matter. It means the positive or the negative, and how it is reacts when it comes to with the another atoms of another molecule, another particles of the substances. After that, we will read about the structure of the matter from when it was came in the concept of the scientists like Thomson. Okay, then we will read the Rutherford. Then we will read the Sedgwick. Sedgwick is not given here. So Thomson is given, Rutherford is given, and the another one is given, that is Bohr, Niels Bohr. Okay, so three such type of atomic structures and their concept we are going to read, as well as the drawbacks. Drawbacks means the different means the which problems they faced. Okay, or what problems was there in the concept of the scientists year after year. Okay, at first when Thomson understood, or Thomson thought about the structure of atom, he made a kind of atom where many problems came. Okay, and it was seen by Rutherford. Then Rutherford make it over. Rutherford also added few another concept according to him. After that, when Niels Bohr came. Niels Bohr then found out the drawbacks or the problems in Rutherford's structure and Rutherford's model, Rutherford's theory. Then he added something over there. Okay, and at last the new atomic structure that we used to read. Okay, there are also few of the drawbacks were seen that was written by the Niels Bohr. Okay, so all such drawbacks and the concepts all means the atomic model of Thomson, then Rutherford, then Niels Bohr. These are going to be very important. So these three theories you have to memorize it, because for every year it is said to the students that you have to practice all these three theories. Why? Because which theory will come in exam, no one knows. Okay, so that's why this theory are important. Okay, next we will read about the three compounds, the three structures that is present in an atom, that is the proton, neutron, and electron. Okay, proton, neutron, electron, the structure, the entire structure, and their form, their function in an atom, all such things we are going to read from here. Okay, then how are electrons distributed in different orbits? Okay, in different orbits, in suppose in electrons, how to divide the electrons between two atoms. Okay, so in such matters, according to the structure, the atomic structure we are going to read. So this atomic structure is going to be very important, because atomic structure for some cases it comes in exams, most probably for 2 marks or 3 marks questions. That's it. Next, the valency that we told in chapter 3. Valency is also important here, and most probably valency is entire theory and the structures we are going to read from here. And I already told that valency chapter is very important. Why? Because this valency is a new topic for you. Okay, and you have to understand that all the new topics are very very important for this year. Okay, not only for this year but also for every year. Whenever you are reading some new things, so it means that such things are going to be important to you. Many a few questions may come on that very new topic. Okay, that's it. The entire topic, that table that is given 4.1 in page number 51. Okay, page number 51, the entire topic you have to read in that table that is given, the name of the elements, then the symbol of the elements, then atomic number of that elements, then number of protons, number of neutrons, number of electrons, then the distribution in different shells, those which are present around us like a circle shaped. Okay, KLMN. Okay, so on these shells, how many electrons are present according to these elements. So all you have to read and you have to understand. After that, valency. What is the valency key? So this valency key also you have to memorize. That's it. Memorize means at first you have to understand. Then easily it will be memorized to you. Next, atomic number and mass number is atomic number and mass number of any element you have to read, and such type of explanation in a short note it comes in exam. Okay, so it comes like that, write a short note or what do you mean by the atomic structure or the atomic number of an element. Okay, write to or suggest or justify with the help of an element. That's it. So in such manner question may come. Then isotopes, okay, isomers, the isotone. So such type of conditions comes according to their definition. Correct? Calculation also comes. So in such manner, our in the entire chapter ends over there. So what is the important thing? The important thing is the valency, and the atomic mass. Okay, this topic, then isotope, isomer. Okay, this topic. Why? Because these topics are very very important, very very new to you. Okay, so that's why these such new topics are going to be important to you this year, and most probably you have to memorize this topic. That's it. Next, come to the chapter number 5. Chapter number 5, the fundamental unit of life. Fundamental unit of life means it is under the biology. So the biology topic is there, and throughout this biology chapter, nothing to say that biology is such a kind of chapter from where question will come, you don't know. I also don't know. Okay, so it means that the entire chapter is going to be important for every year. Okay, not only for this year, for every year it is important. And basically, fundamental unit of life means the cell. Let us say the unicellular part, the cell. Okay, and what is the structure of the cell and who found it out first time, okay, about the cell, who gave the details about the cell first time, and after that the experiment the experiments began on this manner, and whatever machines is used, it is very important, it is very easy. Earlier also you have already read about the cell and the discovery of the cell, so it is not going to be important to you, but you may read all this manner. Next, how many types of cells are present in our body, in our body muscles, okay, or on our skin? So the cells structure you have to memorize, as well as the diagrams also. Diagrams are also very 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 important. Okay, so that's why the structures of muscles or the muscular cells, you must have to practice this. Next, what is cell makeup of, and what is structure of the organizational cell? Okay, plasma membrane and cell membrane. Fine. So it means that if I take a cell, so in a cell, which things are present? Mainly the cell membrane or the plasma cell that is present, then cytoplasm, then nucleus. So all such matters, those which are which means the organelles, those which are present. Based on these, the theory is given, and such type of theory may come in exam based on their diagrams. Okay, it may say that they draw a level diagram of a cell and explain the cytoplasm or the nucleus part of it. Okay, in this way, question may come, and the functions, of course. What is the function of each thing? The structure and the function. Okay, this is very very important in biology. That's it. So each and every part of it you have to read, and after that this nucleus, cytoplasm, these topics, figure also, okay, the separate figure, how it is, how is a nucleus look like, how is the cytoplasm look like, how is the other organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, then the Golgi bodies, okay, then ribosome, then what is it, that flagella, the outside the projections, okay, flagella, how it is look like, and the prokaryote prokaryotic cell, then eukaryotic cell, how it is look like, differentiation between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell, who discovered prokaryotic cell and when it was discovered. These are going to be very important because these are part of short topic, okay, including and makes a huge topic, including all those matters, as well as the vacuole, the cell vacuoles. What is the function of it? Because vacuoles, most probably people used to, or the students used to skip it out, but sometimes question comes on vacuoles. What are the vacuoles? In which cell vacuoles are huge or large in size, and what is the function of the vacuoles? And so all these matters comes then. Mitochondria, the structure of mitochondria is very 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 important. And then the three types of plastids, means chloroplast, chromoplast, and leucoplast. Okay, such type of plastids are very important, their functions and their presence in a, in a plant's body. So it is very important. Then the cell division. Cell division is also a unique type, or a unique topic to you. So that's why most probably either mitosis cell division or meiosis cell division, any one between these will come this year. Okay, so that's why mitosis solution and meiosis solution, both you have to memorize very very well, along with the details and the well level diagram. That's it. Okay, so in such manner we have already completed this chapter. It is going to be a very short chapter, but this chapter it is there in a very broad sense in class 11. In class 11 you will get, as well as class 10 also, but a little bit is given. So that's it. So you have to read this chapter up to 5, and then the important topic that I have already told you, you have to read it well, and if possible you just give the mark in your book, okay, according to my words, and practice it well, hardly. Okay, and I know that you all will be succeed if you read and if you practice all such topics in proper manner daily basis. Okay, at least give 1 hour to 1.5 hour on science, and it is enough for it. Okay, thank you so much for this video. On the next video, I am discussing from chapter 6 to the next 5 chapters. Okay, that's it. Till then, read well, practice it well, give the bookmark, and just go for the practice, practice, and practice. Bye bye.